So we have a fun little election coming up here in August 4th, across Missouri, and I'd like to take some time to focus on the Missouri constitutional amendments that are on the ballot. In Missouri, we are famous for two things when it comes to ballot measures. We are famous for extremely deceptive wording of the ballot measures
Mm-hmm.
to either push people away from voting or to confuse them in making their decision. Either thing tends to help a more repressive, conservative political angle.
It do.
And we're also famous for, of course, subverting the will of the people and the legislature just doing whatever the fuck they want to, anyways.
Yeah.
But I will say it's harder for them to do that the greater the mandate is. They pay a bigger price, especially in these modern times, and especially when you consider that they might have spread themselves a little thin in their last redistricting to bust up Kansas City and made themselves potentially vulnerable. So I guess if we're going to start looking at these amendments, we might as well just start from the very beginning because it's the very best way to start. And we'll start with Amendment 1. And in my opinion, honestly, this is going to be a very easy one. It's kind of a slam dunk, but in the current environment, I can see people being a little bit confused as to the nature of this amendment. So, Amendment 1 is the Missouri sales tax for parks and conservation measure renewal. And that last part is extremely important. I don't even think it's actually on this as it will be written on the ballot, but this is a renewal of a currently existent tax. This is not related to the income tax rollback and new sales tax implementation or any of that stuff at all. This is a tax that has been around since 1984. Oh, wow. So I think that's the first big thing to note is that this is not a new tax. This is explicitly a renewal.
So it passed the George Bush test.
Yes.
No new taxes. Old taxes are okay, but no new taxes.
Only old taxes that were oddly passed in 1984. Just sometimes anytime that year comes up in a bill that was passed or something like that, the head automatically
feels weird
a little,
Yeah.
So let's see. So a yes vote supports renewing the existing sales and use tax of 0.1% for 10 years to fund state parks and soil and water conservation programs. And obviously a vote no would be to the opposite, would oppose renewing. This is an automatic, this renewal is built into the bill. It is automatically voted on every 10 years. There was a little bit of fudging in it initially. I think it wasn't initially in the bill, and it was voted on, passed in 84, renewed in 88, and then at 96 is when the 10 years started. So past 96,
gotcha,
2006, 2016, and here we are. So automatic 10-year renewal, narrowly approved at first. Honestly, as narrow as it possibly could be in 1984, it was literally a 50.1% to 49.9% vote to pass this tax initially. But since then, it has been overwhelmingly popular. We're talking 2/3 majority in favor of renewal since the initial passing, because this tax has been wildly successful.
Yeah, the ROI on those dollars spent is fantastic, and it's easy to see the benefit of it, and it costs fucking nothing. It's such a pittance of an amount to spend for something that benefits all of us, at least tangentially, but a lot of people directly as well.
I would say when you're talking about soil and water conservation programs, you're actually talking about explicitly everyone. Actually, at that point, because
Yes, absolutely.
you are. It's not just the state parks, which that is maybe a bit more of an indirect benefit to the people that don't directly go out and hang out in the state parks, which you should.
Yeah, but we all need like soil and water to like
Yeah, we
live and
desperately
breathe and grow food and shit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So with that in mind, it's like it directly benefits everyone. Yeah, 0.1%. Um, and I wanted to point out a couple. I had a few things to note, also a few extra things to note. Which actually we've kind of gone over. Really, it's an automatic renewal, not associated with the new income tax, sales tax debacle. But this tax accounts for about 75% of the entire Missouri State Parks budget.
Oh Jesus.
75% of the entire operating budget for Missouri State Parks comes from this 1.1% tax on
Yeah.
sales.
God, you can just see where this is going to. Like,
It's one of those things, though. I mean, it's got a lot of bipartisan support in the electorate, and I don't see it's a tax that Republicans are probably going to stay away from even talking about because they don't want to come off as though they're pro any kind of tax uh, unnecessarily. But they are also like ostensibly catering to an outdoorsy aesthetic, at least.
yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. I mean, like there is that like where we care about wildlife and nature and stuff, so we can
Mhm.
shoot it if nothing else.
We care about the pristine countryside right up until we want to strip mine it. Um,
Yes. Or pump it full of lead. Either
yeah.
one.
Um, so I don't know. I feel like this is an easy one to start with. This is an easy one to cover because in my mind, this is a no-brainer, slam dunk, easy yes vote. In my opinion, everybody like conservation taxes are a good thing if you like having
Yes.
green things to see, water to use, and maybe like living things that exist in the green and watery stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
if you like any of that.
Especially as essential as tourism is to the economy of this state in so many different ways. I mean,
Mm,
particularly Branson and the whole Table Rock Lake area, like the Ozarks area.
all the rivers.
Just yeah, all of Missouri's scenic waterways and such. Like,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, yeah, it's just cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing I really like about this that I feel like is actually really worth leaning into a bit here too is that this is not only like a no-brainer, slam dunk, easy yes vote if you're somebody that's going to show up to vote. This is one of those things that even if you're the most cynical bastard, you can see the value of state parks and basic conservation efforts, right? You're
Yes,
the most
yes,
cynical bastard. No, I'm not saying evil. I'm saying cynical, maybe a bit
cynical. Yeah,
disillusioned, right? Um, you can
they
see
still
the
understand the
value.
value of having soil that's not contaminated everywhere. Like,
Exactly. And this is something, if you doubt the efficacy of electoral politics, this is one of those things that is at least on the fringe of that argument
mhm.
because this is something you can vote for that has tangible, demonstrable, positive effects. Full stop.
Yeah,
It has been proven to work, and it requires you to show up and vote for its renewal. So it is. It is. I mean, if you kind of take a what I'm calling a Carlinian view of electoral politics, where you feel like if you're going to jerk off, you might as well stay home, so you've got a little bit of something to show for it, as opposed to going to the polls and voting. Well, here is an argument to the direct contrary, because this is a thing that you can vote for that has passed, likely will pass, is unlikely to be just like, thrown out by our fucked up,
Yeah.
corrupt state legislature, and it has demonstrable effects, positive effects on your life.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't think like the is evil and conniving and whatnot as though they may be at times, I don't think that's what our state legislature would want to just do away with in some sort of way, because that the optics of that would be terrible.
Horrible.
But if they can throw it out there and confuse the voters and let them eliminate it themselves, that way there's no blood on their hands, there's no culpability there. We're just giving the voters what they want. This is the democracy you're all clamoring for and complaining about that we're taking away. So
Yeah,
there you go, voters, vote it.
if they could get rid of it without using political capital to do so, then they
Yes.
absolutely would, for sure. Yeah. Any other thoughts about this amendment one?
Yeah. I really hope it's just straightforward and it goes through like normal, like it would any other time. I don't think that's too much to ask out of this just insane existence that we find ourselves in. Can we not just let one normal, regular thing just carry on like clockwork?
Could we not gut Missouri state parks, please?
They're nice. Like, I literally just stopped at one today, and it's lovely. And there's miles of trail. So yeah, just that. And I mean, if that, and there's so many of those.
Mhm.
And that's not even taking into account the taking care of the quality of our soil and our drinking water, so we have drinking water that's not fucking contaminated. Like,
Mhm. Mhm.